here's a quick story. I am, preface, I am officially homeless. I just moved out of my San Francisco apartment as of yesterday. I basically spent the past week and a half trying to sell everything, which, for any of you who might be doing the same, start early if you really want to get back any of your money that you invested in your apartment. Just start early, like months, like 2 months. Prepare to live without some of those items as you sell them. It's not fun. It's a full-time job to do that, and usually your ROI is pretty damn low. Um, just as a comparison, as I continue this tangent, spent probably three or $4,000 on the items that I had purchased in total, and maybe made a thousand back. So it gives you some context should you ever want to move out and sell all your belongings. Now, back to the story. So I moved out of my apartment. I'm riding around San Francisco homeless on the back of my motorcycle and trying to run some errands just before meeting up with a friend. She's going to kindly let me stay at her house. Thanks, Emily. And I pull up to the U-Haul because I had purchased something before, and there's a guy standing out front. Like, it looked like he was just kind of soliciting, I don't know what, but went in, took care of my business, came back out. He's still there, and I kind of make this kind of offhanded comment. It's like, oh, how's it going? How's your day going? And then we proceed to have a conversation for about an hour and a half. This is probably around 5 or 6 p.m. in the city when the fog is rolling in and it starts getting pretty freaking cold. But we stand there. He's in short sleeves, and we're talking about the some of the biggest problems that kind of hit the San Francisco kind of tech scene. Some things that just don't come to people's minds. Things that are surprising, like these companies that look so successful and they don't do well. The fact that that's one thing, but I think the most interesting thing that we kind of hit on that kept on coming back, it was kind of an underlying theme, is and other people will tout this, other people agree, I'm not the first person, I'm like the last person to say this basically, but is that when you're working in a company, big or small, it doesn't really matter where you are in this company, but the higher up you are, there's an expectation that you need to set the example. This example is what everybody's going to operate on lower down the company. So, for instance, you don't see Elon Musk going to meet his buddy for coffee in the morning and going to get a haircut in the middle of a meeting. You don't, like, that's not a thing. Like, here's someone who works a crap ton and who has a vision and who sets the example that I will be in the office with you to get this done no matter what. So that's like a kind of a high level example, like a CEO, but here's like another example. So the friend that I met, he actually works for a great startup in the city, and he is out there pounding the streets to talk to people to kind of learn about his target market, figure out why people are doing certain things. You don't necessarily have to go and talk to like 4 people in front of a U-Haul, but that's the sacrifice that he was willing to make that day, to stand out there for a good chunk of the day and then stand in the warmth. I mean, it was hotter that day, and then it got cold. Just the and also the fact that he was going back to work after we had our conversation was another thing. But let's not let's kind of differentiate here. Like there's the fact that you might be working just to be busy, or you actually working to get stuff done and be very targeted and very focused about what you're doing. So that was very interesting, and because that whole conversation, especially that one topic, was very interesting because it resonated so well. Often, working in a startup, it's very easy to tell how successful things will be depending on how much everybody is invested in that company at the time, and it's unfortunate to say. Like I've been involved in many startups, and you can see those signs that sometimes people aren't invested as much in that one thing they should be focusing on. Um, and it's interesting. I just had given a friend the one thing by Jay Papasan and Gary Keller, and obviously, if you can tell from the title, one thing. There's really only one thing you should be focusing on at a time to be really effective, and it shows. It shows in the progress, like the results. If you see results, you're getting stuff done. If you're not seeing results, it's probably something you're doing wrong. So that was one thing that just really kind of resonated with me for the past couple days. Mostly because I believe in it so strongly that you need to focus on one thing if you really believe in it. If you're working with other people, those people have to have that. One, you either have to inspire those people, or you need to, um, or you just need to work with people that are already self-inspired. It's people who are self-motivated. So, anyway, long story short, startups, Silicon Valley, motivation, getting shit done. None of this is easy, but it was great to talk to great to talk to you, Ty, um, and I'm glad we had that conversation. So that was a good start to this little journey. I'm now going to be heading up the West Coast in California. First stop, Fort Bragg, and then I'll be talking to you guys along the way at some point. And until then, stay tuned. Check out some of the blog articles. I know it's kind of thin right now, but I'm working on it as I go. And we'll see you next time.